Welcome to the ultimate guide to mastering Git and GitHub. This course is your step-by-step journey to becoming adept at managing and collaborating on coding projects using the world's leading version control system. Git is more than just a tool for saving your code iterations. It's about mastering the flow of changes, protecting your work, and enhancing how you collaborate with others. Combine Git with GitHub, and you open up a whole new world of team collaboration, project management, and contributions to open source projects. We will begin with the fundamentals, setting up Git, creating your first repository, and mastering essential commands. From there, we delve into more complex topics like managing branches, resolving merge conflicts, and mastering the art of merging. We won't stop at the basics. Get ready to dive into GitHub's robust features, including pull requests, managing projects with issues, and automating workflows with GitHub Actions. You will also get insider tips and strategies from industry professionals. And by the end of this course, you will gain both the technical skills and strategic insights needed to leverage Git and GitHub for seamless team collaboration and impactful project contributions. So are you ready to take control of your coding projects and collaborate like a pro? So let's dive in. And just a quick info for you guys.
Craving a career upgrade? Subscribe, like, and comment below. Dive into the link in the description to fast-track your ambitions. Whether you're making a switch or aiming higher, Simplilearn has your back.
If you are a professional who wants to switch careers with software engineering by learning from the experts, then try giving a shot to Simplilearn's postgraduate program in full-stack web development. Accelerate your career as a software developer through this postgraduate program in full-stack web development course in collaboration with Caltech CTME. In just a few months, you will learn modern coding techniques with bootcamp level intensity and gain all you need to be a full-stack technologist. The course link is mentioned in the description box below and pinned comment. So let's get started. So hi guys, today we'll see the difference and what is Git and GitHub, and we'll use some of the basic commands. So starting with GitHub, so it's a web-based platform that leverages Git. So Git is a tool. I will move to the website. So here it's the Git. It's a tool, and that's the version control system. And it provides a space where developers can collaborate on projects. While Git, it's a command line tool. So Git is a command line tool, and GitHub provides a graphical interface along with additional features that help manage the projects hosted on the platform. So now we'll see what is Git and GitHub. So a little understanding of both the softwares and the tools would be good before starting it. So think of Git as a tool that helps you keep track of changes made to your files. It's like having a detailed history book that captures every change to your documents, allowing you to revisit any version at any time. That if you commit any changes or do any change to your project, you could move on to that change at any time. So this is especially useful for coding projects where you want to see old versions of your code or work on different features simultaneously without interfering with the main project. So Git operates primarily through the command line and allows for local version control, that is storing all version history of files locally on your computer. And then it has branching and merging, creating branches to work on different versions of a project simultaneously, then combining them back together. And then we have the collaboration, coordinating work among multiple people. And then we have the GitHub. So GitHub is where you take projects online using Git tool. So it acts like a cloud-based service for Git repositories. In addition to all the version control capabilities of Git, GitHub lets you share your repositories with others, collaborate on projects, and even track issues. It's a hub where millions of developers and companies build, ship, and maintain their software. So what does GitHub provides? It provides project management tools. It tracks issues, add project notes, and manage pull requests to improve your project management process. Then it has the collaboration features. It discusses changes, request reviews, and manage contributions from other developers easily. And it is open source networking. So you can explore projects that other people have made public, contribute to others' projects, and learn from the global community. Now we will discuss how they work together. So while Git helps you manage your project's history locally, GitHub takes this a step further by hosting your Git repositories in a centralized location. This means you can access your projects from anywhere, collaborate with others, and benefit from the robust ecosystem of integrations and tools that GitHub offers. So using Git with GitHub enhances visibility, collaboration, and project tracking in ways that are not possible with Git alone. So now we will introduce Git and GitHub in the way that helps clarify the distinct between complementary roles that each plays in the software development landscape. So moving to the website, you could see so this is the website for the GitHub, and here if you are new, you just have to sign up for this. So it's asking an email address here. So enter your email address. If you have the student ID, you can get some of the more features of the GitHub, but I will recommend don't use your student ID as it will get deactivated in the upcoming years. So use your personal ID only. So here we will log in from a new ID for you guys to let the process know how to log in. And here we have to create a password. And your username, I would so it's saying this one is available, Abhisar Uja 0007. We will continue with that only then. And email preference, receive occasional product updates. No, we don't want. And here you could see that the GitHub is verifying our account. So he's asking us to solve the puzzle, but I have my dark background on, so I'm not able to see the puzzle here.
Option 1. Option 2. Option 3.
So you could see he's asking what option is the sounds of cat. So it's the second option. And it has got us the right answer. And now he's asking for the code on my mail address. So we'll get back and check our code. So I've got a code here. So here you could answer these questions, that how many team members will be working with you. You could say just me, or if you want to collaborate on a project, you could tell them that would be 2 to 5, 5 to 10. And are you a student or teacher? So you could select accordingly. So we will go for a teacher one. And what specific features are you interested in using? That would be collaborative coding, automated, and CI/CD, security, client apps, project management, team administration, or community. For currently, we will take on collaborative coding, automation, and CI/CD, and you could choose others also. Now you could see that there are free options and the paid options also. In the paid option, you will get the additional teacher benefits. That would be GitHub team, draft pull request, required reviews, or else I will select student for you guys. Okay, so we'll select student as you guys will be creating your account. So we'll go with that option only. And here you could see both the options, and here we will continue for free only. So this is the dashboard of GitHub. It's a bit confusing, but you don't have to dig in that. You could just reach out on the top right section, and here's your profile, select all account, add account, and your repositories. We'll go to your repositories, and here is what we will create our repositories. So currently we don't have any public repository. Now what we'll do is we will get back and install Git tool. Now we are on our Git website, and here we have to download it for Windows because it's a tool and we have to get it downloaded. So we'll click here to download the latest version, and that is 64-bit version for Git for Windows. So you could select like if you are using Mac OS or using the Windows setup, so you can choose accordingly. So we have the other Git for Windows download, and that would be 64-bit for Windows setup. So you could see that the download has started, and it has started twice. So we'll pause one. Oh sorry, it has started thrice or more than thrice I think. So getting back here. So after downloading, you can install the Git, and it will ask you some straightforward questions. You don't have to checkbox any checkbox accordingly. Just the information it provides. Just move on with that and install the Git on your system. So now we are coming back to a GitHub, and we have logged into a GitHub, and we are at the repository section. So now to make a new repository, we just have to click on the new button here, and you could see here this is the repository name what you will provide here. So what we'll write is first project. Let's see if it's available. It's available, and below there is, so repository names are unique to your account only and can include letters, numbers, hyphens and underscores because there's an owner here. So you are the owner here, and then there's a repository name, and then comes the description that is optional, and this provides a short description of your repository. This is not mandatory but helps others understand the purpose of your project. And after description, you could choose out the visibility option. That is, choose whether the repository will be public, that will be visible to anyone, or private, only visible to you and those you invite. And then there's a readme file, and initialize this repository with. Optionally, you can add a readme file and a git ignore file and choose a license. So if you add a readme file, what this does is it's a text file that introduces and explains your project, and it often includes information on how to use the repository or what the repository is for. And the git ignore, this file tells Git which files or folders to ignore in a project. You can choose a template that suits the language or framework you are working. And then it's the license. Adding a license determines how others can use, modify or distribute your code. So if you want to create a readme file, you can create it. So this is how you create a repository, and if you want a description, you can add your description also. And we're making it public, and getting here we will create the repository, and after filling out all the options, you could create the repository, and you can clone or set up in desktop also. So after creating a repository, you can either clone it to your local machine using Git or set it up in GitHub desktop for easy access and management. So we'll see how we can copy it. So what we'll do is we will use an ID for all the things, else you can use git bash also. So there's an option with the name git bash, and after installing it, it will most probably appear on your desktop if you will choose the option. Else we have the option that is git bash. So this is git bash, and you could see there that it is, you would see here that it's available at the root directory. This wavy symbol, it appears that we are in the root directory. If you want to move to another directory, you could move, or if you want to create or clone the repository, you could do that. For that, you just have to use the command git clone, and after that you have to paste the GitHub link, that is this link. So you can use HTTPS, you could use SSH also, and the GitHub CLI also. But what we recommend is in starting you should use HTTPS. Just copy this and coming here, paste it, and you could see that the link has been pasted. So you could clone the repository on your system using Git, but we won't be copying it in the root directory. We will move in another folder, and you can do all these commands in the Visual Studio Code also. So let's see. I will show you guys how to download VS Code. We will start with all the commands in the VS Code only. So you could download for Windows from here, that is the visualstudio.com, and you could download it and what version you want and for what OS you want. Go for it, and after downloading, we will open up Visual Studio Code. So here, what we'll create is, we will create a new one. That is, you could see welcome here. We will create a new file, or we'll just open the terminal here. So this is our terminal. So currently we are in Devika folder. We'll get back from here, and we are here in C users Abhisar, and here we will create another folder and name it as first project only. That is first project. And you could see that it has created the directory, and now we'll move to this directory only, that is first project, and now our location is C user Sabhi first project. So inside this we will create a new file. Over here only we will copy the clone. So moving back to our GitHub, so you could see here that there's an initial commit that when we have created the file readme.md, and there's only one commit, and this is the main file. From here you could see that this is the main file here, and it has only one branch. So this is the first project, and if you want, you could add or use the edit option here and edit your readme file. So I will show you guys how we could edit this. So this is a readme file, and what we have written here is only first project. So we could write, we will be creating our first project today. Okay, and after this you could commit the changes, and here you could see that he's asking for commit messages, that you could name it. When we are committing anything, we can add a description to it. So this is where we could add a commit message. So it's okay that it has written update readme.md file. Similarly, you could write for your commit. So you could see that it has updated it, and here we could see the history also, who has edited a repository. So before you could see that there was initial commit. So initial commit is the first change, and we can add it readme.md file, what we have done, and we can add and then click on the commit changes, and we have also named the commit also, and we can use the HTML here in the readme file. If you get back here and write br tag, so br is the for the next line tag. If we write br tag and then commit the changes, you could see that the line has shifted to the next line. So the HTML is very basic only. You could use HTML also here, or you could just use the simple English here. Okay, so as we have discussed, so GitHub is a web portal and Git is on the system. So we have downloaded the Git also. We have set up the Git and the VS Code also. So to verify, we can check. We have opened the Git bash. So first thing we will do here is we will verify what version we have. So git --version. So you could see that the Git version installed here is 2.44.0 Windows.1. And after installing the Git, you could see the icon on the desktop, or you could search on your Windows search bar about the Git bash. So this is the Git bash only. And if you want to know all the files here, you just click on ls and you will get all the files that are in the root directory. And if you click on pwd, you could see what is your working directory. Okay, now moving on, we will configure the Git here. And so for that, we can either move to Visual Studio Code or we can do in the Git bash only. So what we'll do, we will choose Visual Studio Code and start here. So we'll open the folder that we have created. It was on the users only. Sa.ahuja, and what we have created was first project. So this is a folder. We'll open this and now we'll get a terminal. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to configure our Git here. So what we'll write, git config --, and we'll write global here. So it will be done globally, and here we'll write our username, user.name, and that will be my name here. That is Abhisar Ahuja. And after that, we will configure our email ID. For that, we'll write git config --, global user.email, and here we will configure our email ID. And after configuring, we will get a list out here. For that, we'll write the command git config --, list. So you could get all the list. So these are the commands that you can use. And if you want to clear your terminal, you could do that also. Like I have the option here to kill the terminal, or you could use the clear command also. So now what we'll do is we'll kill the terminal, and here we will clone a repository. So we'll use the command git clone, and getting back to our Git repository, we will clone it. And for that, you could see here that he has provided us the full chart or the calendar, and he will keep the track of our activities here. And you could see there are one repository created and there were 3 commits. Now moving back in the repository section, we'll open a repository, and from here we'll copy the link, and getting back to a VS Code, we'll clone a repository in a local system. So this is the command git clone and then the link of the repository. As we have done it, you could see that the clone has been updated, and inside the clone there is only readme.md file. So you could see that we are in the directory of first project. Now we'll move to the repository. So for that we'll write cd first project. So now we are in the directory only.
So to clear it, if we want to clear the terminal, we could just write the command clear and our whole terminal would be cleared. And you would see we are in the repository. First we are in the directory, that is first project, and after that our repository, but we have cloned it in the system. And if you want to get all the files in your repository, you could just use the command ls, and what we have is currently only readme.md file, else we don't have any file here. And if you want to know all the hidden files also, for that you could use the command ls -a. Okay, it didn't work. So if we create another file here, that would be the new file. If we create index.html file, so this is our new file and we are in the repository. Now we'll ask him ls and let's see what it responds to us. So when we create a new file, it is untracked by the GitHub. So we get back to GitHub, it won't update it here. There will be only readme file. So you could see that we have created the file here and you could see the U symbol, that is untracked. And when we get back to our GitHub, you could see there is no index.html file. And when we add or change new file, then we have to add it and then it gets staged. That is, we have to use the command git add and then it gets staged. And then we have to use the commit command. Then it will get changed in the GitHub also. Or we could write anything, that would be HTML. And inside we could write a heading. So after changing the file, you could see that there's a modification here, that is the M sign. Now we'll add it, or if the file is that is modified, then we have to use the commands. So guys, as you can see, repeat. So guys, as you can see that we will do some changes here, and after that we will add and commit and push the same in the repository. So what we'll do here is we will create it, or we will create a paragraph here and write how are you. And after this, what we'll do is we will add these changes. That would be a snapshot to a stage. So we will use the command git space add, or you could use the file name which you want to stage it, or you could just press period and press enter. That would be git add period. Or it's showing an error. We will use git add and the name of the file, that is index dot. Okay, the thing is we are not in the current folder. I don't know how, but we are out of the directory. Now we are in the directory, and you could see that in index.html there's a modification here. So what we'll write here is git space add, or in the inverted commas you could write index.html. That would be the file name. And you would see that it has done, and we can also use another command, that is git add space period. So we could use both the commands, and that modification sign has turned into orange now. Now after the add command, what we should do is we should commit. So for commit, we'll write the command git commit -m, and after that what message you want to store as a commit. So we'll write a message update index.html. Okay, and now the commit is done. After commit, we can check the git status, whether there are any pending files that are there to be committed or added. So he's saying that there are your branch is ahead of origin, that is by 3 commits. So we are done here, that is we have done 3 commits, and now we can use the git push to commit it to our repository. So for that we'll use the command git push origin main. So you could see that it has pushed the command here, and the guys who are using this the first time, so git will ask you to authorize it, and it will ask you to sign in with your password. So do sign in, and after that this command will execute. Now we'll move back to our GitHub, and this is our first project. You could see the index.html file here, that is 1 minute ago only, and here you could see that we have done the changes to the repository, and if you want you could also check the status here. Now what we have done is we have created a repository, and then we have cloned it and make the changes in the local repository, and then we have executed the push command. So for instance, if you want to create something on the local repository and after that you want to push it to the GitHub, so how you can do it? For that what you can do is, first we'll create a folder. Okay, let's go out, cd space period, and we are in the first project. We'll so get out from here, and here we will create a new folder, and we will name it as new project. Okay, now we'll move into the new project folder, new project directory, and inside this what we can do is, first we'll open that folder in the Visual Studio Code also, open folder, and what we have created is new project. So this is the folder, and for this we'll open the terminal. Here is a terminal, and we are in the new project folder only. So here we will create a git repo. So first we'll check all the files. If you want you could check the files here. So there's only new project, or else we could add the files here also. So let's start with the index.html file, but before that what we will do is we will use the command git init to initialize this folder from git, and that we have done here. And now if you write ls, so this is our file. Now we have created a repository on the local system. Now we can add a file, and index.html file we have added. Now if you want to add more files you can add them, that could be css files or any file you want to add. And similarly you have to create a new repository in the GitHub also. So for that we will go to our GitHub, click on profile section, and here are our repositories. Click on new, and here we will name the repository. We will name it same only, that is new project now. So we'll name it same only, new project, and we will not add a readme file here as we have not created on the local system also. So we'll create it, and this is our repository link. So what we can do here is, and before doing it, like before adding the link in the local repository, we will create some content here. That would be, let's say, first we'll create HTML only, and then in the body only we will have some para,
and we'll write new changes. Okay, now we have created the files and now we want to upload it to GitHub, and we have made a new repo in the GitHub. Now what we'll do is we will use a command git remote add origin and add this link. So we'll copy this link. Moving back here in our terminal, we will write a command git remote add origin, and now you can paste the link here. So it has pasted the link. Now if you want to verify, what you can do is write the command git remote -v. As you could see that it has integrated our local repository to the remote repository. Now you could also check in which branch you are. So you could just write the command git branch and you could see that you are in the main branch only. So what we have done here is we have created a local repository, and then we have inserted some files here, and then we have created a repository in our remote that is on GitHub. And after that we have used the command that is git remote add origin and then the link of the repository. So it has connected with it. Now we have some modified files or the new files that we can push them. So for that we will first use the command git add space period. It will push all the files, and after that what we can do is git space commit -m, and we can write the message that is initial files. As you could see that one file changed 5 insertions, and you could see here that the sign has changed. Now what we can do is we can push the files. So for that we could use the command git push, and if you want to just use the command git push in the upcoming sessions, so you could use -u also. If you use -u, what it will do, it will allow you to use git push command every time if you are working on the same directory. So one time you have to use git origin -u, git push -u origin main. So there's an error here, resource space main does not match any. So let's see first in which branch we are. That is, we are in master branch. So you could see that we are in the master branch and we want to make it a main branch. So what we will do is we will rename it git branch -m main. We will rename it as main, and now we'll check in which branch we are. Git branch, we are in the main branch. Now we can push the code or the files what we have created. Git push -u origin main. Okay, now it has pushed all the files inside it. Now what we'll do is we will get back to GitHub, and here we can see our new project. So these are the initial files, that is the commit that has been created. And moving back, here we are. So we have, now we will create a readme.md file here. Readme.md file, and we can write anything here, that this is our second project. And after that we can just push it. That is, you could use git add space period git commit -m, and you could write readme file
and here we got an error. Okay, we wrote git commit. So git commit -m readme file, and now what we can write is git push, and it will push the file to our remote repository. Now as you can see here, this is our second project and it has been pushed here. So this is how we use the init commands to create a local repository and then move it to the remote repository. And now you have seen that you could see in which branch you are with the command git branch, and if you want to rename it, you could use the command git branch -m main. Okay, and if you want to create a new branch, that is, if some of the guys are working with you and you want to create a new branch, you could create a new branch also. I will tell you how you can create a new branch. Or if you alone are working on a repo and you want to create a feature, for that also you could use a branch for the feature branch. And let's see how you could create it. Git checkout -b, and after that just name the new branch. We will name it as feature 1. So we have created a new branch, and let's see. We'll write the command git branch. You could see that there are two branches, feature 1 and main, and the green one is in which we are currently in, feature 1. Similarly, you could make other branches also with the same command, that is git checkout -b feature 1. We will create another branch, that is feature 2. Now if you want to see how many branches are there, you could just type git branch, and here are the 3 branches, feature 1, feature 2 and main. So we are currently in feature 2, that is the green branch. And if you want to delete some branch, or if you want to navigate, first we'll see how you can navigate. So you could just write git checkout and then the branch name, that is, currently we are in feature 2, that is green. So we will move to feature 1, and okay, I pressed space also. Checkout feature 1. Now we have switched to branch feature 1. For that you can check also with the command git branch. So currently we are in feature 1 branch. And if you want to delete any branch, you could do that. Git branch -d and the branch name, that could be feature 2, and the branch has been deleted. To check out, you could just write git branch. So currently we are in feature 1, and then there's the main branch. And now we'll see some other commands, that is git add, or if you just write git add dot and press enter, it will help you, that is git add space period, and it will help you to get all the files staged. So as we have already staged the file, we won't be able to do it again. Now what we'll do is we will create a new project or new directory on the system and then get it to the GitHub. So for that we will start with the origins command. Now what we'll do is we will work in the local repository and we will create a new file or the new repository and get it uploaded to the GitHub. For that we'll use the command git init. So this command git init is used to create an empty git repository, and after the git init command it's used, there will be a .git folder that will be created in the directory with some of the subdirectories. So once the repository is initialized, the process of creating other files begin. So for that I will take you guys. First what we'll do is we will initialize or configure the files again. That will be the username and the mail address. So for that we'll write the commands, that is git config --global user.name, and our username was Abhisar Ahuja 0007. We have done it, and we will configure globally, that is our email address -- global user.email abhisaruja0007 @gmail.com, and it has been configured. Now moving back to our Visual Studio Code. Here we'll get back from this directory, and inside the abhisar.ahuja only we'll create a new directory and use the git init command to initialize it. So for that, what we'll do, we'll create a folder first and name it as project, and now we'll move inside the project. Now we are in the folder or the directory of the project. Now we'll use the command git init. So it has added or created an empty git repository. So to check it, we'll use the ls command. Or first we'll move to the repository, that would be cd, and the name of the repository, that is project. But we don't have created it. So what we'll do, we'll open the folder here, that is C users abhisar.ahuja, and then we have the project folder. You could see that we have created that a .git is created. When we have initialized git init, it has created the .git folder in it. And getting our terminal back here, and in this project we will create a file and name it as index.html, and in this file, if we use the command git add, so similarly the git add command is used to, like after checking the status of the files, to add those files to the staging area. And before running the git command, git add is used to add any new or modified file. So as we have created a new file, that is index.html, and we could write anything here, that would be html, and inside we could create a heading and name it as project only. So we could use the git add command to add it to the staging area. So nothing specified, or it's saying nothing added, as you could see we are. So similarly we will use or check other commands, that is first there is git add command. So what it does is it will move changes from the working directory to the staging area, and this gives you the opportunity to prepare a snapshot before committing it to the official history. And then we have other, that is git branch. So this command is your general purpose branch administration tool. It lets you create isolated development environments within a single repository only. And then we have other command, that is git checkout. So in addition to checking out all commits and all file revisions, git checkout is also the means to navigate existing branches. That is combined with the basic git command. It's a way to work on a particular line of development. And then we have git clean command. So it removes untracked files from the working directory. This is the logical counterpart to git reset, which typically only operates on tracked files. So this is about the git clean file or the git clean command. And you have already seen the git clone command, that is it creates a copy of an existing git repository. That is, after it we will paste the link of the git repository and it will create a copy of an existing git repository. And cloning is the most common way for developers to obtain a working copy of a central repository. And there's a git commit command. So it takes the stage snapshot. That is, after we have used the git add command, we can use the git commit command. as it will take the stage snapshot and commit it to the project history. And it will not reflect in the GitHub, but it will commit to the project history. And combined with git add, this defines the basic workflow for all Git users. And there's one more command, that is git commit -- amend. And what this does is passing the -- amend flag to git commit. It lets you amend the most recent commit, and this is very useful when you forget to stage a file or omit important information from the commit message. And then comes the command git config. So what does this? So it's a convenient way to set configuration options for your Git installation. You will typically only need to use this immediately after installing it on a new development machine. And there's a git fetch command that fetch downloads of a branch from another repository along with all of its associated commits and files, but it doesn't change or doesn't try to integrate anything into your local repository. And this gives you a chance to inspect changes before merging them with your project. As we have already discussed about the git init command, that it initializes a Git repository. That will be a new Git repository. And if you want to place a project under revision control, this is the first command you need to learn. And then comes the git log command. So it lets you explore the previous revisions of a project. It provides several formatting options for displaying committed snapshots. And then we have git merge command. So it's a powerful way to integrate changes from divergent branches. After forking the project history with git branch, git merge lets you put it back together again. So I will have you a little understanding. That would be merging and rebasing. So the git rebase command has a reputation for git magical, git hocus pocus that beginners should stay away from. But it can actually make life much easier for a development team when used with care. So git rebase is and git merge command and identify all of the potential opportunities to incorporate rebasing into the typical Git workflow. And then there's a git pull command. So pulling is the automated version of git fetch. It downloads a branch from a report repository, then immediately merges it into the current branch. So this is the git equivalent of SVN update. And then we have git push command. So pushing is the opposite of fetching, that is with a few caveats. It lets you move a local branch to another repository, which serves as a convenient way to publish contributions. This is like SVN commit, but it sends a series of commits instead of a single change sheet. And then we have the git rebase. So rebasing lets you move branches around, which helps you avoid unnecessary merge commits. The resulting linear history is often much easier to understand and explore. And then we have the git rebase -i command. So the -i flag is used to begin an interactive rebasing session. This provides all the benefits of a normal rebase, but gives you the opportunity to add, edit, or delete commits along the way. And with that, guys, we have come to the end of this session. I hope you find it informative and helpful. If you like this session, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any doubts, you can comment down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing, and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.